In the last part of Unit 10, we are going to look at reported questions, requests, and orders, and reporting verbs. Reported questions. The changes for reported questions are basically similar to reported states. The tense changes are the same, and we keep the question word. It isn't a question anymore. We have to change the structure to a normal positive sentence. Example: where do you work? She asked me where I worked. We remove the auxiliary verbs and make sure we change the tense of the verbs. What languages did you translate? They asked him what languages he translated. But what if you need to report a yes or no questions? We just need if or whether convert the question. For example, did you like almonds? She asked me if I liked almonds. Or do you know where she is? He asked me whether I knew where she was. Reported request. When someone asks you to do something in a polite way, we just need to use the structure ask me plus to plus infinitive to report that request. For example, close the door, please. Or could you close the door, please? Or would you mind closing the door, please? She asked me to close the door. To report a negative request, use not. Please don't speak so loud, and she asked us not to speak loud. Reported orders. As well as request, we can give orders, it is, tell someone directly to do something. Direct speech, be quiet, or don't worry. We just use tell instead of ask. She told me to be quiet or not to be worried. Reporting verbs. Reporting verbs are used to report what someone said more accurately than using say and tell. Verb plus infinitive: agree, decide, offer, promise, refuse, threaten. For example, they agreed to come to London with us. He refused to declare in court. The structure verb plus object plus infinitive: advise, encourage, invite, remind, and warn. For example, Charles advised me to study harder. He reminded me to buy some bread. And the structure verb plus gerund: admit, advise, deny, promise, recommend, suggest. They recommended going to that restaurant. She suggested meeting a little earlier. The structure verb plus object plus preposition: accuse, blame, congratulate. For example, he accused me of killing that woman. They congratulated me on passing my driving test. Verb plus preposition plus gerund: apologize for, argue for or against, complain about, insist on, and talk about. For example, they apologized for not coming to the meeting. He insisted on having another child. And the structure verb plus subject plus verb: add, admit, advise, agree, announce, declare, decide, deny, explain, guarantee, insist, promise, propose, recommend, state, and suggest. For example, Martha decided that the house needed painting. They recommended that we take the train. These are the main uses and structures of reported questions, request, and orders, and reporting verbs.